Hey everybody, I'm here today to do our story for Cubbies Bear Hug 9. So we're gonna get started. So if you had a chance to watch our puppet show, I'm glad that Lovey had a marshmallow for Timothy. What happened to Timothy's first marshmallow? It got caught in a fire. Well, fires have hot flames that burn things, and we need to be careful. In our Bible lesson today, you will hear about many different fires. We talked about this big fire last week. After the Israelites saw the amazing fire God sent, they knew that God, not Baal, was the one true God. Do you think the Israelites started worshiping only the one true God after that? No. Sadly, most of the Israelites kept on disobeying God and worshiping idols. God sent many more prophets like Elijah to warn them. The prophets said, if you don't stop worshiping idols, God will make you leave the special land he gave you. The temple will be burned down. The Israelites didn't listen to the prophets, so they kept on worshiping idols. Finally, the prophets' words came true. God loved the Israelites, but he had to punish them because they disobeyed him. He sent an army from Babylon to take the Israelites out of the special land he had given them. The army took them far away to the land of Babylon. It was a very sad time. Then the Babylonian army took all the shiny gold things out of God's temple and set the temple on fire. The temple burned all the way down to the ground, and all of these sad things happened because the Israelites disobeyed God and worshipped idols. But there were a few Israelites that obeyed God and did not worship idols. Meet Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These three young men were chosen to study at a school so that they would be ready to work for King Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. God helped them to learn well in school, and the king gave them important jobs to do. One day, King Nebuchadnezzar decided to make a giant golden statue. He told all of his important men to come together to see the statue he had made. Attention, everyone, said the king's servant. When you hear the music, you must all fall on your knees and worship the golden statue. If you don't, you'll be thrown into a fiery furnace. The music began to play, and all men dropped to the ground. All the men except Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They refused to worship anything or anybody except God. King Nebuchadnezzar was furious with them. If you do not worship my statue, I will throw you into the fiery furnace, he said. What God will save you then? Shadrach and his friends answered, Oh, King, our God is able to save us from the fiery furnace, but even if God chooses not to save us, we will not worship your statue. Now the king was madder than mad. He made the furnace extra hot. His soldiers tied up the three men and threw them into the flaming fiery furnace. The furnace was so hot that it killed the king's soldiers. Suddenly, the king stood up surprised. I see 4 men walking around in the fire, and they are not hurt at all. Come out, said the king. When the 3 men came out of the fiery furnace, everyone saw that the fire had not even touched them. Not a hair on their heads was burnt. They didn't even smell like smoke. The king was glad that Shadrach and his friends trusted God. He said, no other God can save like their God does. Cubbies, the word trusted reminds me of our verse today from Psalm 31:14. I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. The verse again is, I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. Shadrach and his friends trusted God. They knew that God is the one true God. They would not worship any other gods but him. But they also knew that God loved them and he would be with them even if they had to be thrown into the fiery furnace. Cubbies, we can trust God too. We can trust God and obey him even when bad things happen. We know that God loves us and he is always with us. That's the end of our story today. We'll see you next week. Have a great week.